This video may contain copyrighted material used for educational, transformative, or commentary purposes, constituting fair use under Section 107 of the U.S. Copyright Law. And it's also my Hey now, what's up gang, how y'all doing? Well, Paulette is back. Really, I was just watching two different content creators talk about the beefs on YouTube with the Melometers and Tea Talk with Your Girl. She had a lot of valid points in her video about Melometers fighting amongst each other. And I know that we, as a family, families do fight and argue. But like she said, do that in the DMs. You've been talking in the DMs. And it's just like with your family, fight indoors. You don't take it out. So she's right. Whatever disagreements that each other have, either y'all disagree behind closed doors or decide not to talk at all in public. Because, I heard one of them say that she don't want to be the person that make the Melometers look bad. I understand that too. But at the end of the day, I think T-Talk is right. And that is something that we all should work out amongst ourselves if we have any problems with each other. And also, please stop saying that somebody is not a Melometer just because they don't agree with every single thing that other Melometers agree with, or something that Melody may have done or said or something. That does not mean anything. When your parents correct you, that don't mean that they don't like you no more, or they chastise you or disagree with something that you did or said. That doesn't mean that they don't like you or that they're not your parents. Or your friend, if your friend tells you that something you did was messed up and you shouldn't have done it, they're still your friend. Why can't a person still be a Melometer if they have an issue with something that they saw or something that happened? They can still talk about it and still be a Melometer. You can't decide that somebody is a Melometer or somebody is not. It's up to them. Now, I know there are people that are supposedly content creators that people say that they just say that they're Melometers to make money. That may or may not be true. I honestly don't know. I can't say for sure, because at the end of the day, the same way there were people who that are diehard Melometers right now, a lot of them admit that they didn't even like Mel in the beginning and that they love Mel now. Things happen. You could change. You could see her differently from a different light and decide that now you like her and now you want to rock with her and be down with her. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's the same way that it could be the opposite way. It can change and you could decide that I don't like her no more. I don't like what she did. We do it with all the other cast members. So what's the difference? People have a right to however they feel. But I think what people's issue is that they think that you're just pretending to be a Melometer, and then, to make money, and then you turn on Mel after you get her audience. I think that is what people's biggest issue is. But at the end of the day, when you see somebody turn on Mel, let it play out first. Sit back and watch it if that's what it really is. Because sometimes it's not turning on Mel, it's just that they disagree with Mel. And you can disagree with Mel and still be a Melometer. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a lot of people with a lot of wisdom, and they don't have the wisdom just because they got it. They got it because they know and they've been through it, or they've helped several people through it, or whatever the reason is. They have the wisdom, so they may see that how somebody is moving or what they're doing is wrong, and other people may not see it because they don't have that perception and that wisdom yet. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that does not necessarily mean that they're not a Melometer, or that they turned on Mel, or because they said something that you didn't agree with, that doesn't mean that they turned on Mel. You gotta let more stuff add up. Like, you need more evidence. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't take one or two things and then say that that means that they're not a millimeter. Like, if you're gonna, if you're gonna judge and decide that whether a person is a millimeter or not, or you think they turned on male, like, you need more evidence than that, because just not agreeing with every single thing that that person does, or calling out something that you disagree with about that person, does not make them a non-millimeter. It just doesn't. But if you see a person do the things that we saw recently, that was straight up turning on a person. Like, that was straight up turning on a person. So I do know that. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I don't know that. I seen it, and it was too much for me, and I had to bounce. But I'm just saying this to say that, like Rodney King said, can we all get along? Like, everybody can have their own perspective. I mean, that is actually what the point of content creating is. So each content creator has their own perspective on the show or on the subject. Like, everybody does not have to agree with every single thing 100%. And also, like, I'm guilty of this too. There have been times where I've listened and then I heard something I didn't like and I clicked off. But if I would have stayed, then I would have understood exactly why the person said what they said, because I go back and watch it later, because maybe I see a comment or something and it gives me more perspective on it. And then I go back and I watch it later, and then I understand that what I thought wasn't even, that was just part of it. It wasn't even the whole thing, and it wasn't even really what that person meant. They were just giving commentary or their opinion on a certain part of the situation. So sometimes we're quick to click off without getting a fair comprehension of what that person is actually trying to say. And if you take a moment to pause, like Queen Sheba says, you might get a different perspective of it, because a lot of the times our perception and perspective is based on things that have happened to us, not necessarily the situation at hand. It's the old wounds of things that have happened to us, and then we project it onto that situation. We also create relationships based on that wound or that hurt with other people. Like when I was saying in the live about running and things like that, I had to stop running from bad situations, because the more I ran, the more I kept getting that same person / situation over and over again. It could have been a boss, a teacher. It didn't matter if it started off in a marital or girlfriend boyfriend relationship. If I ran from whatever that situation was, I still created it again with different people. But even though the situation seemed different, at the root of it, it still was the same situation over and over again. It could be with your children, it could be with anybody. You will keep creating those type of relationships and conflicts until you figure it out. It's like people who say God will keep on taking you through or letting you keep going through something until you figure it out. It's like, okay, first I'm gonna hit you with the softball, then that little I'm gonna throw it, and it's only gonna be like 10 miles an hour. It ain't gonna be now. You're gonna be able to hit that. You know what I'm saying? You think you're knocking that out the park or whatever. Then next time, since you ain't get it and you just turned around and did the same ish with somebody else, now I'm gonna hit you with that 25 mile an hour ball. Bam, yeah, you thought you could hit it, but you can't hit it. Okay, so you went back a little bit, knocked you a little bit, your knees, they buckled a little bit, and then after that, okay, so you got rid of that relationship, you ain't work on yourself, and then you go out and you do it again. Okay, so here you go again. You see another Dusty, but he giving you all the signs. You turn right around, ignore those signs because of whatever the reason, and then he start acting the same exact way as all the other Dusties. Okay, so he take you through whatever, and your God or whatever you believe in is like, okay, well, yeah, Paulette didn't listen. Okay, this is 3 times. She didn't listen. Okay, this time yeah, we're about to knock her damn head off. We're about to knock her head off with this ball. Okay, so yeah, they throw that ball, and this time the ball is 100 miles an hour. But guess what? 100 miles an hour, I couldn't move. I can't move fast enough to duck that 100 miles an hour. I ain't that fast, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it takes my goddamn head off. So it took for the ball to take my head off, for me to get up off the ground, have to go to the hospital, get patched up, you know, all of that is just code word for therapy. And you know, and going through a whole bunch. Maybe he beat me up, you know what I'm saying? Maybe all the other times he just slapped me and did all of this stuff, but I kept making excuses for him. But this time, you know, he beat me up, whatever. Maybe this time I got an STD, you know, whatever it is, that last thing that knocked my head off, that took me to bottom, you know what I'm saying? Like an addict, when it take you to bottom, where you be like, you feel like you don't got no choice but to stop with the bull. And then you start thinking, well, maybe it's not them. You looking around, maybe it's me. Maybe I need to start working on me. Yeah, so it took all of that for me to figure out that, you know, I'm the problem as well. Not letting them off the hook or anything. Not letting them off the hook or anything. Because everybody's responsible for what they do, but I have to be responsible for my own choices and stop walking around with rose-colored glasses on. So as long as I am not doing my inner work, my perspective of things are going to be that everybody's out to get me, or this person's attacking, and this person meant this but they really meant that, and all those type of things. And sometimes when we are watching people's videos or in the comments reading things, we are looking at it from our perspective of hurt or a wound. So if you see a certain person say X, Y, and Z, that person may remind you of when your mom said X, Y, and Z to you, and it may not be the same thing, but it may be similar. Or, you know, anybody in your family, or any teacher, or something you heard on TV, or something you read in the Bible, or something in church, or something that was at the picnic when you was 11. Anything, all of those things shape you into the person that you are. It's not just what your parents taught you and what you learned in school. It's what every single thing you've seen and heard that stuck with you. All of those things shape you into the person that you are. So when each of us look at things, we all see it from a different perspective. Those are like our version of rose-colored glasses. It has our roses, which is whatever we've dealt with in life, no matter what it is, good or bad or whatever. So that is why sometimes when you hear certain black people say that they've never experienced racism and things like that, that's true. They haven't. There are people that live in areas of the United States that they will never experience racism, and just like there's people that are Caucasian that live in parts of the United States that they will never ever see black people in person. They just won't. That's just how it is. But people believe that just because they experience it and because of what they see, then all black people have to go through this, or because they see Caucasian people and blah blah blah, then that's how it is for all. And that's not true. And I know for a fact that we as a community love to do that kind of stuff and say, oh well, ain't no black person gonna do this, or ain't no black person gonna do that. And that's not true, because you don't know all the black people, and you don't know what their perspective and perception is, like how they lived and things like that. You have no idea. Every black person ain't from the hood. Every black person ain't from the suburbs. Every black person ain't from the South. Every black person ain't from the Midwest. Every black person ain't from the West. We are not a monolithic. We are all different types of people. We all have different experiences, and we need to keep that in mind when people are giving commentary or just moving about in life, period. And stop acting like all black people have the same experience and have the same opinion and have the same everything. It should be dressed the same, and your hair should be like this, and you should do that, and you should say that, because it's not true. It's just not true, and it's very, very small-minded. So we have to give each other grace and keep that in mind. Like a woman who may have been through a lot with a man may, you know, really see Martell different, especially if they've gone through the same exact things. They may see him a little different than a woman who hangs out with guys and hears them say, you know, messed up things about women all the time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not calling her male identified. She could just be a girl that hangs out with guys, and she don't have to be male identified, and she could hear guys, you know, talking junk all the time, but not necessarily doing anything. And she could take her perception of her friends not necessarily doing anything and then put that on Martell and all the other guys, because her friends don't do it, then that means they wouldn't do it. And that's what I mean. Like, you take your perception of how it is for you in your life or whatever, and then put that on the cast. And, you know, and we all do that in one form or another. That's what I'm saying. We all do that because that's what perceptions do. And we also project, you know. So I just want us to keep that in mind and give each other some grace and empathy. And I'm talking to myself as well towards, you know, any content creator, you know, Melometer or not, you know, but especially to the Melometers, because I love y'all. I love the Melometers. I love Mel, and I'm not gonna try to make anybody feel bad or anything like that, because we all make mistakes, and we're all gonna keep making mistakes until we are no longer here. That's just life, and that's part of growth. So I love each and every one of you guys, each subscriber, each person that's listening. That's just how I am. Even though I like to get it pop locking, that don't mean that I don't love. That's only because, you know, if you messing with something that I love, I'm a Leo and I'm very protective, and that's just what it is. And I'm very generous, I'm very loyal, and I'm very protective, and I'm very loving. But I also can black the F out. That's just another side of me. But I would just love to see everybody loving on each other like it used to be. And also, I want to make sure that if anybody, if Uncle Wander does decide to, Uncle Daddy Wander decides to take T-Talk up on her challenge. I know she said she took her up, but I'm talking about actually show up. And she actually does show up. I mean, if they do the tickets and all of that, I guess we'll see. I hope everybody can come, because I would love to meet you guys, because I plan to be there to cheer T-Talk on. I'm definitely gonna have her back. T-Talk was always very kind to me. She helped me with StreamYard when she knew that I was doing content. As soon as she found out that I was doing content, she volunteered to help me, teach me about StreamYard and stuff like that. And I was able to vent to her about what was going on in my life, and she was very understanding to me. So I will never ever forget that. She comforted me, and I don't mean to cry, y'all, but I just been going through a lot. And I don't always have anybody to talk to. I've been talking to Sassy as well. You know, Sassy comforted me as well. I talk to Sassy more than anybody. But I was just talking about T-Talk because she happened to make the video, or she did a live today about it. But I appreciate both of these ladies, because it's just so much. It's just so much. And they show me They show me what Melometers stand for. That sisterhood that I love. This is why I love y'all so much. I did not mean to cry. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to cry. I don't even know why I'm apologizing, but there's so much I could say, but I can't because some things will cause more issues in my life. That's one of the reasons why I only say but so much, because of the YouTube algorithm. You know, the YouTube algorithm brings my video to other people, and it will cause more problems in my life. So I only say but so much, but they know a lot, and they've been there for me, and Braylon too, and Braylon has been there for me as well. And I just appreciate them, and I appreciate all the subscribers from Sassy's channel that sent me cash apps. And I don't even know if you guys are subscribers to my channel as well, but if you are, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys so much. It definitely helped me. It definitely helped me. But anyway, I'm gonna get off of here, and I'm gonna go ahead and watch that episode that I told y'all I didn't watch in the live last night, and try to do some commentary on it in the last episode as well, because I don't think I did commentary, but I may have. I gotta go back and check. My mind is so scattered. But anyway, this is not a sad cry, y'all. This is a grateful cry, a happy cry. I appreciate them so much. I appreciate all of you guys so much. You just don't know. I mean, a lot of times I record videos and I don't even put them out. I don't even put them out. And because I'm at my daughter's house with my grandkids and stuff, it's very hard to go live and just do it whenever I want. So it's a lot of noise, and you know, it's a lot of people in here with me in here. There's a lot of kids and stuff like that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you guys so much. I love you guys so much. And I want y'all to make a Melometer. I want y'all to go on my Melometer roll call video. I want y'all to make a verse. Please make a verse. I want Melometers to unite. That's something you guys, we can unite on. The Melometers roll call videos. I got 2 of them out there. I got 2 different verses. I got more written down. Y'all know my daughter is a battle rapper, right? My daughter's a battle rapper. She didn't write my shit, but when I write my stuff, I send it to her to look at it first and make sure it don't sound real corny or whatever. Now, I got a little bars now. But whether I do or not, y'all probably got bars too. So, regardless, I want y'all to go and get on that Melometer roll call. Alright? Love y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.
I'd like to kiss you, but I just washed my hair. Bye.